Let's take a look at the chart action for Ethereum. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Ethereum chart and also want to take a look at the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. So let's go ahead and jump into this. We'll start with the Ethereum chart, and I've been watching this triangle pattern right here. We had resistance, resistance, support, support, and I was watching these two trend lines on the daily time frame, and it looked like a triangle pattern. In one of my last videos, we had broke below this trend line going to the downside, and I was talking about watching these orange lines, because if we jump over the 4-hour time frame, these are some of the previous bottoms that we have. And when we break the trend lines going to the downside, I like watching the previous bottoms. We had a bottom right here, we had a bottom right here, and we had a bottom right here. These levels were sitting at 2,514. This one is sitting at 2,360, and this one is sitting at 2,168. I was saying it's possible that we don't have to come all the way down to this previous bottom around 1785, and hopefully maybe we can get a bounce on one of these orange levels. And actually, we came down, hit this first one, and got a bounce. So now what I'm kind of looking at is how far are we going to go up and what kind of resistance levels are we looking at now. I don't really like this bottom trend line anymore. I'm going to go ahead and delete that because I'm not really focusing on that for right now. I think the main thing that I'm focusing on are the resistances. We have resistance right here, and resistance right here. Until we break this trend line, and we could also set up a trend line from this resistance and this resistance. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. But basically, until we break these trend lines going to the upside, something like this, then I'm wondering if they're going to keep giving us resistance and push us down when we come into contact with it. I think when we start breaking these trend lines going to the upside, then those are going to be bullish signals. The other thing I've been watching, kind of like Bitcoin, is we had this resistance, resistance, resistance. I was watching this trend line going down like this, and we broke it going to the upside. I think this is a pretty good signal, or a good bullish signal, that we might be heading up to maybe retest these top trend lines. This area up here is sitting at around 2,925. So let's see if we can continue this momentum and maybe come and retest that trend line. The other thing we could possibly do is we have support. Let's go ahead and set up a trend line going to the upside. So we can set up this line going like this, and until we break this trend line going to the downside, maybe this can hold support and maybe help push us up, and maybe we could come up to this level up here, like I said, around 2,950 approximately. I haven't been too focused on Ethereum. I've been more focused on Bitcoin, and let me show you why. Let's go ahead and jump into the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart. We're going to go ahead and jump into the daily time frame, and I haven't looked at this chart in a while, but the last times that I was watching these resistance levels right here, and I had a downtrend going down like this. I'd been saying until we break this downtrend going to the upside, then I think Bitcoin will be outperforming Ethereum. And it pretty much has been. That has pretty much been the case. The other thing I've been looking at is we have support right here and support right here, giving me this bottom support trend line, something like this. It looks like we're coming into contact and we're testing it right now. So the question is, are we going to get a bounce on this trend line, and is Ethereum going to start performing better than Bitcoin, or are we going to break below it and start seeing Bitcoin take over even more? I like watching these trend lines because it gives me signals on what's happening. Like I said, I've been waiting for a breakout to the upside to get more bullish on Ethereum, and I've been watching this support line right here to see if we could get a bounce, or if we're going to break through it and Bitcoin will start outperforming Ethereum even more. It looks like we're testing it, so we're going to have to wait and see whether we get that bounce or if we break through it. This could be a good bottom, or it could be just the start of a bigger downtrend. Let's go ahead and delete these trend lines because I'm not really worried about that. We had formed another trend line going down, but I'm not really worried about that for right now. I'm mainly watching this bigger downtrend and this support line like this. As you can see, the price on Bitcoin's up 8%, while Ethereum is only up 5%. If we zoom out a little bit more, Ethereum has been doing really good compared to Bitcoin, but like I said, we started to show a little bit of weakness right here, and we started to trend down. So I think one big thing that I'm looking at is just this area right here. Is Ethereum going to break down, or is it going to break up compared to Bitcoin? In general, if this chart is trending down, you're going to want to be in Bitcoin. And if this chart starts trending up, you're going to want to be in Ethereum because it basically shows which one is performing better. Like I said, right now we're testing that bottom support line and it does look like we're kind of cracking it right now. I'm kind of curious if it's just going to be a wick and we're going to get a pop back up, or if we're going to see a bigger candle going to the downside. If we jump back over to the Ethereum chart, I think the main things that I'll be watching is the 4-hour time frame. And we have this resistance right here and this little support that's pushing up right now. Let's see how long we can hold this support pushing to the upside. Maybe we could come retest this trend line. If we start breaking these trend lines going to the upside, I think those are going to be bullish signals that maybe we'll be changing direction and we can start heading back up. And I think if we break these trend lines, it's going to be very good for Ethereum, and we might want to take a look at this chart. I think it might be even changing directions, because usually when Ethereum starts moving up, it does outperform Bitcoin, but right now it does look like Bitcoin is doing a little better than Ethereum. So like I said, 4-hour time frame, I'm watching this uptrend. Let's see how far we can keep this momentum going to the upside. I filled my limit order at 2,514, so let's see how far this can run. Let me know what you guys think though. If you guys liked the video, hit that thumbs up button.